Hello, Firepower Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Wing Commander with me, BlueAnkylo. Today, we finally get to try out a real powerful ship, the Raptor, the most heavily armed vessel on the fleet. And that'll be fun for a change. We are beginning our Rostov missions. We're in Rostov 1. And I still haven't decided for sure whether we're going to show off Venice or Hell's Kitchen on the tracker yet. Or at least first, because I'll probably do the other one afterwards, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, at this point, there's no more side objectives. Essentially, you win or fail, and based on what you do in Rostov, essentially triggers the final scenario for the game. Once you get to Venice, basically no matter what, you win, unless you die, but like otherwise, you don't really have to do a whole lot of objectives. The game is over, you just play the last few missions, and same thing with Hell's Kitchen. Once you're there, you've lost. You know, whether or not you survive is up to you, but otherwise, you pretty much lose. It's perhaps a small strike against the game that once you get to the final system, you can kind of ignore all the objectives, but forget about that. We'll be playing it like a real Wing Commander to the bitter end. So, here we are at Rostov System, Blue. You ever hear much about it? Our third planet's a jungle world with a native race of primitive sentience. That means the Confederation won't colonize officially, except for scientific missions. Of course, that just leaves the planet open for unregulated settlement. Grey towns is what they call these unauthorized colonies. They're full of the usual spaceport scum and villainy crowd. There's a little place on Rostov 3 I know, Rita's Cantina. Great place to visit, but don't go in uniform. If you go, tell Rita old shot glass sent you. She'll look after you while you're down there. I don't think I've ever heard that dialogue before. That's cool. Probably wasn't in the... I bet you the bar thing and the gray stuff wasn't mentioned in the Super Nintendo one very much. Thanks, Nintendo. Blue. Rostov system's full of asteroids. Heavy mineral resources. Since the Confederation's never officially settled it, because of the native sentience, we're at a disadvantage defending against the Empire. That just makes Rostov more attractive to the Kilrathi. Minerals, jungle world, primitive race for slaves. The hairballs want this one bad. I can feel it. G'day, Blue. Grab a chair and have a cold one, mate. Best way to ready yourself for a good scrap. That's your opinion, Hunter. That it is, mate. After all, someone's got to show our boys how to relax. But don't let the Colonel catch you tipping before a mission, though. Mate. Again, a lot of the drugs and alcohol probably not mentioned so much in the Nintendo version. So I did save it right last episode. Yeah, Rostov 1, of course, we're good. And look here, look at all those fancy medals and stuff. Major Ankylo. All right, let's get started. Mission briefing, Rostov system, 0556 hours. Settle down, people. We got a job to do, so let's get to work. As you know, Rostov system has been off limits for colonization because of the presence of native sentient species, the Mopox. Yet the system contains a profusion of mineral-rich asteroids, attracting the attention of the Empire of Kilra. Unfortunately, the Kilrathi don't place the same importance on alien races that we do. Talked too fast that time. So we're here to defend the system, its natives, and its resources. We've received reports from our scientific missions on the third planet, indicating the presence of Kilrathi warships in the system. Our first job here is to recon the system and locate all hostiles. Blue, you'll lead the first patrol wing. Iceman will fly on your wing. Any day. Here's your mission plan. You'll recon 4 potential jump points on this one. They're all in asteroids except Nav 3. Enjoy! We suspect the Kilrathi are running supplies near Nav 2 or 3. So be especially alert in those areas. I sure hope it's 3 and not 2, because fighting in the asteroids, oh boy, my favorite. And keep your eye open for asteroids. Looks like there's a few asteroids out there. There are several rather dense asteroids. Yeah. Any questions? Colonel, if we spot supply ships near Nav 2 or 3, do we engage? You bet your butt. Your call, Ankylo, but if you decide to go for it, make sure you make it count. We can't allow the Kilrathi to establish a base in this system. Dismissed. We've had enough failure from you, Ankylo. You need to show your spirit here and get us a victory. Alright, look at this pretty new ship. Oh, so good. Now, we don't have a lot of time to talk about it because of asteroids. But, the Raptor, let's see here. If I can get through the asteroids, we'll talk about it a little bit. We got lots of guns. We got neutron guns, that's new. We got mass drivers, that's the same as the scimitar. Also, you can fire them all together, although it uses a lot of blaster juice. Neutron's guns, first time we've seen them, are the lowest, shortest range weapon. 2,000, I believe they only work at 2,000 and less, or 2,500 and less, maybe, that's it, yeah. And they do the max amount of damage for the most amount of energy, but they're pretty powerful. You generally want to play, in my experience, with full guns and just aim really well, because you'll kill things really, really quickly. Other than that, what else is there to say? We got lots of missiles. We got heat seekers. Speculum IR still need a lock on like a heat seeker, but you can lock on from any angle rather than only from behind. Halum Friend or Foe are the only fire and forget missiles in this game that you can just shoot, and they will automatically target the nearest enemy. They use some sort of targeting computer. And we get a Porcupine Launcher, or Porcupine Mine, which kind of sucks. I don't know what it would be really good for. Now, in addition to the amazing firepower, this fine vessel has way more shields than the Scimitar or the Hornet. And it's traditionally pretty good against all these light ships, in my experience. I don't really want to waste... Oops. Is he really running? I only killed one. Get back here. I didn't say you could go. You'll leave when I tell you to leave. There you go. So, I mean, just pause for a second here. The Raptor's pretty good against Ralphie. So yeah, the gun power, the weapon power is way stronger. You can see the little 70 there by the shields. That's a fair bit more than scimitars or anything. The only sort of downside is, there is no downside. These ships are great. I don't think there's really much doubt about the fact that the Raptor is probably the best ship in the fleet. The Rapiers are faster, they've got a little bit more shields, but way less armor. Slightly worse weapons, and that's about the main difference. They're faster, but 400 is pretty good. You know, we're almost as fast as a Hornet, and honestly, I've never had a problem with the Raptor's agility, so I guess we could still autopilot here. I've been pretty happy with the Raptor, basically. Alright, watch out for asteroids. No point crashing into anything. Yeah, one thing I was going to say. So, because we're now into the more elite ships, 70 shields is enough to survive, or just to absorb a single missile. So you can, if you're brave, just take a missile while you're focusing fire on an enemy. You can also do sort of a headlong joust for a little bit longer and actually take a couple shots. Still not Jelthy material, but Dralthy and Salthy, not so bad. Gratha could also punch through pretty well. So you gotta be careful with these guys. And I'm still gonna play this game. Now with full guns, if you're able to get a good shot off, they go down pretty fast. So so much more firepower than what we're used to. We played so long on scimitars. It's nice to be spoiled again. Oh, it's so much better. Oh, I love it. Not my best volley there. We kind of got them at a weird angle. My missile's just goofing around. Did my missile hit me? Here I am talking about how awesome these ships are. This is probably the group that we should use some missiles on, though, if anything. Yeah, this is probably the biggest wave of enemies for this mission. Now, Iceman, I hadn't talked about Iceman yet either. He's pretty much for sure the best wingman you'll get. He doesn't follow orders all that much. Also, it's nice to see frontal armor again. Now we know that my frontal armor's gone. No, we want all guns. Switch to Heat Seeker, maybe. But yeah, it's nice to have Iceman. He hasn't killed anything yet, but you'll notice he's not running away. Or... I had to open my big fat mouth, didn't I? So, anyway, Iceman's dead. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. That was terrible. Also, I think a Draymond warped in there, or jumped in. Alright, another kill. There's, or not a Draymond, sorry, a Dorkier. That missile hit me. Now, I know you can evade missiles in the Raptor. We just haven't had a lot of luck so far. Unlike the Scimitar, we're fast enough that we should be able to dodge Heat Seekers. So far, all you've really seen is a lot of firepower, and Icemen do nothing. Like, I suppose Gratha, sorry, are still a good matchup for a Raptor. You know, we're fighting the same class of enemy. We're not overclassed here. But, Iceman should not have died there. That was dumb. So the way I like to deal with these things is just to switch to neutron guns. They do the most damage, and then just park behind them and kill them. Full guns work as well, but I think neutron guns do more damage per energy. I can't believe Iceman died. That's terrible. Who's gonna be my wingman now? This wasn't even a hard mission. I wonder if I should just reload it and do this one again. Because he must... well, we'll live with it. You know, consequences and all that, but... Alright, we got... Back to Tiger's Claw. Alright, well, I mean, honestly, this was a pretty easy mission. It would be nice to have Iceman alive for the future missions that get harder. But, whatever. We're just gonna do him a solo. The Raptor's good enough that I should be able to win almost anything solo, unless it's secret mission, but... This kind of stuff should be fine. I can't believe I was just saying how he's supposed to be one of the better pilots that actually shoots at enemies and doesn't run away, and... We give him a nice ship like a Raptor, and what does he do? He just dies on the first real encounter. What a nice looking ship, though. I really like the Raptors. I think they look cool. Looks like it got a little hot out there, sir. Well, I took a couple of missiles, I guess. There was one moment where the Grathas had me in their sights. Mission debriefing, 0613 hours. Glad to see you back aboard, Blue. Too bad about Iceman. I wish he had taken some furballs with him. Yeah. Let's review the mission report. You destroyed 9 of the enemy, Blue, and it made it look easy compared to the Scimitars. And surprisingly, no kills for Iceman. The recorder also shows you down to Kilrathi's supply ship. Good work. Sadly, Iceman didn't make it back. That's all then, dismissed. We are gathered here to pay our last respects to a good friend, and one of the Terran Confederation's boldest defenders. Major Michael Casey was easily one of our most brilliant pilots until today, where he got stupid. Though he rarely opened his heart to his fellow officers, I feel sure that he would have wanted to die as he did. In combat with the Kilrathi at the controls of a starfighter. Attention! So long, Iceman. I'll see that the Kilrathi pay for what they've done. I killed the 2 that killed you. This time, I actually feel a little bit bad. Unlike Maniac and Knight, who I barely even noticed were gone. Well, I noticed Maniac was gone because I stopped getting shot. Knight never contributed a thing. Bossman got a couple kills, so he's okay. Iceman, taken from us too young. Man, I had so many Top Gun jokes in the background ready to go. Goodbye, Iceman. And now there's no one to talk to. Well, I guess that sorts out the leaderboard. Casey will never catch up with us again, and we've got a lead on Bossman, so... 3 kills! Wow, there's only one more officer we could kill. Not that I'm trying to kill everybody, but it's looking kind of close. I mean, to be fair, Spirit, Angel, Paladin, and Bossman all survived flying with us. This is a dangerous game. This world's scary, guys. Well, I'm not going to overwrite this. In case I decide I want to reload him, I will make separate saves. I probably won't go back, but, you know. If we get a really, really hard mission, it happens in, like, the secret missions a little bit, where if your wingman dies on the first mission, sometimes the second or third mission are so hard that you can't really do them alone. You need them to take a couple hits for you, basically, or distract the enemy. Especially like those rescue a Draymond that's under attack by 4 Grathas. Not like that ever happens. Anyway, that's all for today's episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more asteroids. Less ice.